Welcome to Why Would You Say That, the podcast. I'm Willy. I want to thank, and the introduction is brought to you by Aaron Long. That's pretty good. That's the old X-Men theme. That if you grew up at all in the 90s, if you can't just like kind of grow up in the 90s, but if you grew up at all with the X-Men and that old school cartoon, that theme song is going to be stuck in your head for the next year. So you're welcome. Well, I've had a hell of a weekend. This has been, we're in the middle of the quote unquote gas shortage. And it's not really a gas shortage. It's just rumors spread fast on Facebook. There was the Hurricane Harvey. That was a terrible thing. But because of that, everybody's like, "Oh no, we're gonna run out of gas." Like, how do you know? You know. And then so that happened. But so it's just been a hassle having to deal with that. You just gotta find gas. Like, it hasn't become Mad Max yet. Like, I haven't had to wear hubcaps or shave a mohawk, so everybody knows. Everybody knows I mean business. But I had a weird weekend because I got in a wreck. I wasn't driving. That's not why I got in a wreck. My sister was driving. She had just picked me up from work, and we're coming home. And we're literally stopped in traffic at a red light. And then some guy just slams right into the back of us. Like, damn, dude. You freaking stupid bastard. And the guy kept apologizing. He just kept apologizing. And it probably helped that I looked like I was going to murder him. Because I kind of wanted to. I got to be honest. I kind of wanted to. But yeah, so I dealt with that situation the way I deal with most situations, and I went and got food afterwards. Luckily, there was a Dairy Queen nearby, so I was able to get a hamburger and ice cream to make those feelings go away. My neck hurt. My neck did hurt for the rest of the day, a little into the next day. But I think I'm good now. Today, next day? Oh no, that was the day before yesterday. And then it was like, the way I look at it is like almost, I know I didn't almost die, but that's what I say. I almost died 3 times in a 2-day span. Because we got into that wreck. The guy hit us. And then the next day, I drove to San Angelo for a gig. And which was awesome. Shout out to Chris Crawford. And I was driving to San Angelo, and there was a dude. He had a trailer. He was in front of me. He was hauling a trailer. And you know how when you're driving, you see people just kind of touch the dirt? They just kind of touch the dirt, and then you're like, oh. And then, nothing happens. Well, this wasn't that time. This guy, his trailer touched the dirt, and then it touched the dirt some more. Then it went further into the dirt, and then the whole thing kind of just started swaying. And then it went right into the dirt, and then the guy just kind of goes into the median on the left side. On the left side, not the right side. He goes into the median in between both lanes. Or both directions, whatever. Going down I-10. And the guy just goes in there and just is swerving like crazy. You're just expecting him. I don't know if it's because of movies or what, We just expect him to start flipping over. And the reason I was worried is because, like, whenever stuff like that happens, you have to stop. Or it's like a criminal act. And I was in a hurry. Like, I had a gig to get to. And so I was just like watching him. And then, like, he didn't flip over. He kept going. He's fine. So, I kept going. But that was crazy. Like, it happened right in front of me. That dude could have just, like, started flipping. And then, like, I could have died again. I could have died. And then the next time was, I got out to San Angelo, did the gig. It was crazy. It was on a boat. There was like 15 people. Like, it was a small boat, so the boat was packed out. Like, I could have literally started jumping up and down and probably flipped it over. It was that kind of, like, it wasn't like a bass boat or anything, but it was like it was a cool boat. It was a steamboat, I think. And I had to sit next to where the door was open. They asked me if I wanted to sit inside the cabin and wait for my turn. With the guy in the engine room, basically, which is just like, like 2 steps down. And like, I was like, no, that's cool, because there was a ladder, and I'm clumsy, and I'm fat, and I was like, what are burnt calories doing that? Get out of here. So I just went and sat down. They set me by the door to that place, and you could just feel the heat coming out, because it's a steamboat. You just feel the heat just like coming out of there. And so I was sweating like crazy before I even went up, but it wasn't even because I was nervous. And then, like, I went up, it was a freaking great crowd, great set. It was weird. My foot hurts because from trying to keep my balance on a boat and not fall down. And so, as soon as we left there, we went to go get something to eat. As soon as we got to Denny's, there's a recurring theme here, and, they eat a lot. Like, food and near-death experiences. We got to Denny's, and I just looked, and it started raining. And I drive my sister's car, and her tires suck. They suck. So I was like, damn, this is going to be hard. So I went and put gas. Shout out to Crawford again. Crawford took me to the base to put gas. It was like 25 cents cheaper than everywhere. So, yeah. That was pretty awesome. I've never been on a military base before. That was pretty cool. They had a Domino's and a Burger King and more food. Huh. But you look at that. It was like, that place was amazing. They had so many places for me to eat. Like, there was a big old drone that they had on just kind of like, they had an airplane on the outside of the base, like just this big airplane, but inside they had like a drone just kind of posted up. And like, I was freaking crazy looking. It looked like something out of Terminator 2. But, I was trying to think. I was trying to think of what other places there were to eat. I know I saw 3, but I can only remember 2. There's a Pizza Hut. There's a Burger King. No, not a Pizza Hut. A Domino's. A Domino's, a Burger King. And I could have swore I saw something else, but we put gas. I saw a library and dorms. And even their Domino's people, they have delivery. They have delivery on that military base. How crazy is that? It's like its own little town. I was so jealous. I mean, like, I'm not going to go into the military because my foot hurts from standing on a boat. So, yeah, I don't think I would make it if I wanted to go. But, so, okay, anyway, fill up gas. I start leaving town. It's raining a little bit, it's manageable. And then as I get out of San Antonio, it just starts raining like crazy. Like crazy. Hard rain. Just, the next town that you get to is Eden, and it's 36 miles from San Angelo. And it took me almost an hour to get there. That's how slow I had to go. That was, let's just say I was leaving late at night, and I I had no problem staying awake. I was freaking out. And then, at one point, I was driving and I was like, nah, I could do this, no problem. And then it felt like wind was kind of pushing. You know how it feels like when you're driving on a highway and wind pushes the car and you kind of feel it just like, well, there was no wind. I was skidding. I was literally going about 65 to 70 miles an hour, just gliding. All stupid and unaware. But, and then so I get out back to I-10 and, finally, like, as soon as I get to Eden, it like starts letting up, and I was like, oh, okay, good. And then I make the turn to head to Junction, and as I'm heading that way, as soon as I leave Eden, because I was like, I'm gonna park in Eden until this starts to clear up, and then I'm gonna take off. But I get to Eden, and it's light, so I was like, I can handle this. So I head to Junction, and then it starts picking up again, and I was like, damn it, it's like it was waiting for me. So I'm driving, and it's crazy coming down hard. So I'm driving through here, going slow again, and I finally get out of the rain, get on I-10. I'm coming home. And at one point, I'm going around these 18-wheelers. And you know that moment when you're trying to go around somebody, but there's somebody coming up fast on the left side, and you can't just go around. You have to wait for this guy to pass. Well, that happened. I waited for that guy to pass, and I go behind him. And as I'm going, this guy stops. Like, he just punches the brakes. And I can't even be mad anymore. Because it's like something is trying to kill me. Something doesn't want me to get home. It wants me to die. It wants me to die soon. And all I gotta say to that is it needs to hurry up. Yeah, it was crazy. Dude just like hits the brakes and just kind of pulls over into the left median again and just hangs out. Didn't hit emergency lights, just kind of like hit his blinker. It's like, I'm headed this way. Whee! So, my last 48 hours have been, it's been pretty stressful. Pretty stressful. I've been trying to work on, I've been trying to do, 10 jokes a day. I've been trying to write, at least, 10 jokes a day. And, that is, I couldn't do yesterday because, stressed out. I was stressed out. I spent most of my time on the road and doing a show yesterday. But a big chunk of that was spent just ugh. Because that's what happens when you're sad. Yeah, da. You can't get things done when you're sad. And, so I'm trying to start. What is happening? Don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, that was Dad calling. Say what's up. I like talking to my dad. He's pretty fun. I forgot what I was talking about. I could have gone back to listen, but I didn't. And so now we're here. This is what happens when you never prepare for anything. And now this is happening. But yeah, my weekend was fun. Almost dying. That's not a new experience for me. That happens a lot. It just it never just quite seems to get there. Don't worry, guys. One of these days I'll get there. And you ever do that? You ever think about your death? Not like in a morbid way, not like in but just you ever just think about I wonder who would go? It's my last show. That's my last show. Who would show up to my last show? And it's not even technically I'm headlining, but I never say anything. And there'll be a lot of guest spots. I want to have a lot of spots. I want it to be like a roast, but you have to be careful because my brother he's not too fond of roast. So if you start making fun of me and I'm dead, there's a pretty good chance you're gonna get, at the very least, hit with a shoe. Something's gonna get thrown from across the room and it'll hit you. And if not that much, him and his friends probably beat the crap out of you. But, if you want to roast me when I die, that's always up for grabs. I want that to happen, as long as I like you. If I don't like you, just don't come. Don't come to my funeral. You're not invited. If I don't like you, you're not invited to my funeral. How's that? At the last little birthday party, nose in the air, right? It's like, but I don't want you to come to my birthday party. You can't come to my funeral. There's going to be lots of cool stuff there. There's going to be rides. That's so childish. Don't come to my funeral. But I mean it. If I don't like you, don't come. It's my last show, and it's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. Yeah, I like to think about it like who wouldn't you want to come? Like, I've got a few people in mind. I know a lot of people there's a lot of people I don't want to come. Like, I want it to be more of a secret show. Like, if you know me, you're going to know where it's going to be at, and you know when. And if you don't know me, but you're like, I would go to that, you're not going to go to that. I don't want you there. If you don't know me well enough to know where my secret funeral is going to be. Like, freaking secret funeral. God dang it. You ever say something and just make yourself laugh? Laughing by myself in my apartment. I feel like a real winner about my secret funeral. Well, this has been fun. I don't know if I'm going to end this. I recorded something I'm not sure if I'm going to put out. But it's just like it's a PSA to open micers that are making me angry. Or not making me angry, but just kind of like the people who don't take it serious and just getting in the way. Making the open mic hard. But I think the open mic is going back to the way it used to be, so I might be alright. I might not have to. It might be one of those where you're like, hit me up and I'll send it to you. For the 1 or 2 people that actually listen to this. Thanks for listening. And that's the podcast. I almost died 3 times in 2 days. Maybe even 4 times. Everybody who listens to this, you're invited to my secret funeral. That's the podcast. And just right when I'm almost finished, right? Just let's see together who that was. That was nothing. That was a YouTube notification of somebody going live. God, it was a waste. That's the podcast. And as usual, don't be cold-blooded. And come to my secret funeral.